to it. So let's head over to California. Over in Cali, it's bad. I should just name this whole stream California. I think I'm going to change the name to this. I think I'm going to change the name of this to California because it is bad out here in these streets. All right, let's get to it, y'all. Y'all ready? I heard they over there cutting Tesla power cords in California. Let's get it popping.
It's a disturbing trend. Thieves targeting high-powered Teslas and other EV charging stations and stealing heavy cable for the copper metal inside. NBC Bay Area's Tom Jensen is in Vallejo tonight, where someone cut cables from 9 charging stations, leaving Tesla drivers in a bind and causing tens of thousands of dollars in damage and repair costs.
It's easy to see what the thieves are after. These cables are heavy, and you can see by the cut ends, they are also dense with copper.
Look at that. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? That's copper. That's copper wire inside of those cables, okay? Let me tell you a little bit of a story. So I remember one time I actually went to go and build a bunch of houses in some of the communities that were underserved. Let's just put it like that, right? So shortly after I had opened up my restaurant, a little bit before that, I had actually bought a bunch of houses in underserved communities. And so we was going to put a whole bunch of money into them and start to, just be a part of the community. All of the stuff that y'all hear, the Umar Johnsons and stuff like that talk about, I done lived it, did it 10 times over, been robbed as a result of it. And so all of this blackety black stuff y'all see, all of this for the community pouring into the less deserved, I was one of those optimistic people. I was one of those people that was always like, you know what's wrong with the community? There's a brain drain, and everybody always leaves when they get educated and they do great things and stuff like that. And I'm telling you, every single time, you will spend more money putting it into the community with less return than just spending a whole bunch of money putting it into a $180 million house. I'm telling you, you build a $400,000 house, you will spend less building it from scratch than you will trying to keep people out of there, getting security, trying to make sure that nobody lose their life. I bought a bunch of cribs, and so we started refurbishing them, and we was going to put people in there, to make sure that they can stay affordable and stuff like that before the community changed. And soon as we would leave, every time we would get a window, every time we would get, new plumbing, whatever it was that we was doing, I'm telling you, in the morning when we would come to the property, it would be absolutely gone and stripped out. It would be absolutely gone and stripped out. And so it's difficult to change the dynamics of how people are living their lives when you invest in them. Because eventually it was like, okay, well, let's skip it. We'll just put all of our money and deploy it in the places that people actually appreciate it, and we'll raise the price of the brick. What's up, Mika? We'll put all of the money in a place where people appreciate it, and we'll just raise the price of the brick. Because what they would do is they would strip out the windows, they would take out the copper. They did a lot of that to the homes in Detroit, and they made the house completely uninhabitable. And so in order to actually buy the house and refurbish it, what you would have to do is you would just tear the whole house down. All you're doing is buying the land, and you would just have to build the whole house itself. So now what they're doing over there in California, especially in the Bay Area, is they've gotten so desperate. Please stop telling me how high-end y'all are over in California just because y'all homes cost a lot of money and you can't afford to live there. What they basically doing over there in the Bay Area is the Tesla power charging cables, where you go in and you plug up your vehicle, your electric vehicle, in order to get it fully charged. They're going in and cutting the power charging cables, and then they're taking out all of the copper and trading it in for pennies on a dollar. They're trading in it costs more to repair the lines than what you get in the copper that you strip out of the lines itself. Y'all some special kind of stupid over there. Y'all got some special kind of thieves and stupid over there in California. Insane. Listen, do you know what kind of chances you taking by cutting a power line for cords that basically are running superchargers? When one day we see one of y'all laid out on the floor And they say, oh my God, we never know what happened to him. Somehow he just got electrocuted. God must have just struck him down. Nope. They cut the wrong power cord for a Tesla charger cable in order to try to steal the copper, and God dealt with him accordingly. Y'all a special kind of criminal over there. Real, correct, Azriel. Crackhead activities.
Copper, and at $3 a pound through scrappers. From the
$3
cables
a
cut
pound.
here, the thieves likely got a couple $100s for all of that metal.
$3 a pound. The scrappers is only giving you. You got to join a tier, Brian Barnes. You got to be on a tier. I'll answer that super chat shortly. $3 a pound. That means you took a risk on your life. You inconvenience, and you probably going to cost tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in damages. And you went over there and you cut off you took all of the copper out of there. Y'all hauled it all off on your arms, and you're going to get a few $100s for the copper that's inside of the Tesla power cables. That's a special kind of crackhead. If you telling me that this economy is thriving, I'm going to tell you to go and look at the Tesla power cables over in the Bay Area and in Oakland and in California. That $3 a pound, that's a special crackhead. Few $100s? Seriously? You know how much work you got to do in order to do that?
They are heavy. It's easy to see what the thieves are after. These cables are heavy, and you can see by the cut ends, they are also dense with copper. And at $3 a pound through scrappers, from the cables cut here, the thieves likely got a couple $100s for all of that metal. They knew something wasn't right.
Most likely happened in the night, and we found it early morning.
Josh Beckler and his wife were two of the first people to find the cut cables early Mother's Day morning. Josh is also a retired Marine and former investigator for a major big box hardware chain who routinely investigated similar thefts where thieves targeted generators and other items for the copper wire.
You know, they left 5 charging stations. I'm pretty sure after they racked up, I don't know what the quantity was, but almost 20 cables with the nozzles. Those are extremely heavy. So I'm imagining that's all that they could haul at one given time.
In all, 9 of the Tesla supercharging station's cables behind the Vallejo Target store were cut over the weekend and reported to Vallejo PD early Sunday morning, leaving Tesla drivers in a bind.
I think this is the second time or third he's been cut. So they need to put some gates up or something like that. I don't know what
they got to put gates up just so people can charge their cars. Hey, is this what we came to? Is this what life is like over in the Bay Area, that they got to put gates up just to be able to charge the cars because y'all can't let them, y'all charge? Jesus Christ, this is amazing, bro. That's insane. Honestly, it's literally insane. That makes no sense whatsoever. Ain't that why In-N-Out left? Ain't that why Starbucks continue to pull out all of the stores in California?
they need to do, but this is pretty inconvenient.
Josh Beckler says sadly it's a sign of just how desperate many in the Bay Area are right now, willing to risk life and freedom for a couple $100 in copper wire.
Dummies.
And an Oakland Tesla driver who had to use the chargers in a pinch today agrees.
I think it reinforces the desperate times that a lot of people are under, and, you know, hopefully we can do something about it.
Tesla Energy workers had all of the stations back up and running by dinner time, but this isn't an isolated incident. There have been reports of EV cables stolen from charging stations across the U.S. recently. That last driver I talked to from Oakland said she usually charges her car at home, but beware, the thieves are also targeting those home EV charging cables for just a couple of dollars worth of copper, and the cables themselves can cost almost $3,000 each to replace.
If you have a charging cable, especially over in the California area in particular, be very, very careful about leaving your garage open. Don't leave it outside and charge it outside. Don't do none of that, because people are getting incredibly desperate. They willing to do anything. They willing to throw their lives away. They willing to run up on your property. They willing to possibly get electrocuted, all of that, because they some special kind of crackheads. And so instead of getting a job, Instead of going getting you $20 an hour over there at McDonald's and paying your fair share, instead of you being very, very responsible with how it is that you use your resources, instead, they're going to be, when you see somebody hauling down the street in a grocery basket from Target, this is right behind the Target. When you see somebody hauling down down the street, the grocery department from Target, and they got a bunch of charger cables in it, know that that's that special crackhead that you need to call the police on, because they ruining it for everybody. Everybody is getting messed up and everybody jammed up as a result of it, all right? So that's what's happening over there in California. Jesus Christ.